Hey everybody, this is Marsilio, and thanks for your interest in my take on the markets. So I'm starting with a Bitcoin chart and looking at this $70,000 level approximately, which is also this half year R2 level. So for everybody who indicated interest in this, thank you very much. I hope it's going to be helpful to you. And if you haven't seen this, I tried to make it public on TradingView. They gave me a little bit of a hassle, but here it is. Bitcoin. Now we did have a little bit of chop around it, a couple of fake out bars, but there it is in play on Bitcoin, and then even more directly on S&P. Actually, ES is even better chart. Whoops, that's the continuous contract. That the direct high of the year is right on this level. Half year R2, bang on it. So if you want to include this pivot level in addition to the TradingView defaults, I made it an invite-only script. Just reply to this YouTube or Twitter, X, and I'll send you the invite. So, okay. So as usual, we're going to go through a little bit of review, then some charts, what's next, and some data edges. So review, I have to say, another week pretty much nailed in terms of the best moves and what was going on. So as of last week, I said highest confidence was commodity rally up. So gold going parabolic. And so that played out. And then oil also powering up. And of course, there are a variety of ways to play these ideas. The ETFs are just one of them, options, futures. Of course, also expands out. If gold's going up, GDX is likely to go up, and there are going to be some miners that look good. And then same on, so this is a GDX weekly chart. And then same on oil. If oil is going up, you've got energy, you've got all kinds of individual energy names, all likely supported. So it's really putting out my ideas for the best moves ahead. And then the rest in terms of I'll give you some suggestions at points, but how you want to play it really depends on the assets you're playing with, the leverage, the timeframes, etc. Okay, the other thing that I said was that indexes likely to be in a range, and I suggested watch for dips on index futures to play an RSI extreme. And actually that did play out on ES, and this is a 4-hour chart, so I want to talk a little bit more about this chart because on the daily time frame, it's really just going. There's not too much on that index. Other indexes had some changes with pivot status, but on this 4-hour chart, there was a very good reversal setup early on Monday. And I did mention the possibility of a fool's rally, which did play out early. Globex, there was kind of some fake strength which faded. But this is a couple things I want to point out about this combination and this setup. Now, this was in the wee hours, but we have weak buying, so a small advance right under two resistance levels, plus the Bollinger Band, plus RSI higher and stochastic up there. But of course, I'm not suggesting anyone start trading at 3 a.m. When this bar ended, but the next bar is a reversal. Major resistance, weekly R1, and so that was a good suggestion of short on the way in terms of reversal. A little bit of a wider stop, but not out of the question for 4-hour time frame. And then went your way. The pivot, weekly pivot broke, which is an orange, stayed as resistance. And then where did that go? Down through the new monthly pivot down to weekly S2. So that was the move on the ES, almost perfect. Weekly R1 to S2, and then the RSI up near highs, and then RSI down near lows. So that was a catchable move. The bounce, this setup's a little messier, involving a test. And then this one also, must say, hard to catch if you're in the discipline of waiting for the close of the bar. Although day trader paradise from a swing version and my rules, harder to catch. Same on the VIX. Maybe we'll look at that for a little bit. Well, I'll say more on the VIX shortly. In terms of Bitcoin, similar idea, top of the Bollinger Band, reversal, and then right here, first 4-hour bar. This was a key tell under that major resistance and also under the weekly pivot. So using that level as a kind of this combination, either deciding to be long or not, or swing trading short, saying short, and then through the monthly pivot down to weekly S2, almost tagged, and then RSI extreme tested. Pretty good setup here in terms of reversal, actually. And now back up, still under this weekly pivot, but that's going to go away. The important thing is above its monthly pivot, which we can see a little bit more easily if we go back to daily chart. So Bitcoin above all pivots. When I say pivots, I just mean yearly, half yearly, month, quarterly, and monthly, but still needs to take out that resistance level, 70K, to confirm strength. Others, notably not as strong, Ethereum and others, but Doge powering up and looking strongest. So above all pivots and not really any major resistance getting in the way. So just some chart review and people starting to look at pivots and my setups in more detail. Hope that's helpful. Now, in terms of some other charts, this was the biggest index drop from this year, and one of the biggest red bars of this entire screaming rally. So I'm bullish on indexes, but here's the thing: we have a very clear level on S&P that's going to guide my decision making, and that is the new monthly pivot. Whoops, I need to get onto this daily chart setup. So it's S&P, ES, SPY, all variations, slightly above right now on all of them. The other main indexes, NASDAQ, Dow, Russell, are below. So if there's going to be leader, it's going to be S&P, and that's likely due to the energy component. So the above, bullish, below, bearish. And VIX has notably not confirmed the stock balance at all. It is still, whoops, that's a 4-hour time frame. Go to, it is still above its half-year pivot. So one of these is going to be right. VIX is either going to come down hard, and we're going to see a nice reversal and saying, okay, we really want to get even more long, or VIX is correct. It'll be higher on Monday, and if that's the case, then ES will and S&P, et cetera, will likely be below its monthly pivot. So the other thing that I think could pressure markets in the week ahead is the bond move. Bond yields went up. It's a little easier. You can look at TNX or TLT. TLT made a big move on Monday, below, kind of jumped from no man's choppy land, below major levels. So below falling 200 moving average, below all pivots, below all moving averages. That's quite bearish, and that's where bad things happen. So we may see rates again pressure stocks. So it'll be especially earlier this week. I think that could be the catalyst for a risk-off move Monday, possibly early Tuesday. So again, I think that's more likely to see weakness early in the week. But due to data edges, I think there'll be a buying opportunity, especially indexes, a little bit less so cryptos. And I'll say more about that when we look at the data edges. Now, in general, in a super strong bull market, I don't want to be asking where is the top every week. I want to be asking what's the best way to profit from what's going up. And, you know, this could be the case every year, but especially this year, we've seen such a discrepancy between even members of the leaders, the Mag 7, of course, Tesla, terrible, Apple just not doing much, while other names are screaming higher. And one resource that I wanted to share is Finviz. This is a free account. You can just do a screener, you know, what's making new all-time highs. You can leave it as all sectors or not, or 52-week highs. If you go down, the other thing you can do is look what's just under 52-week highs. It'll be a lot more names, but then you can select a sector of interest or just look at them all. And maybe some of you who are especially the crypto traders are already looking at 20, 30, 50 coins or whatever. I think given the timing factors of the second quarter, you want to figure out ways to broaden your watch list, because there are going to be some smaller names that are going to deliver. And even in stocks last week, a few of the names that I pointed out really did well on the index bounce. I mentioned Meta, that's going up. Amazon, looking great above major resistance. Google is another one, had a little bit more shuffle, but also at highs. But there are also names like Spotify, like this, because it's foreign owned, it may not show on people's defaults, but this is just going parabolic. And there's many others that are just going up, up, up. So this, whatever's going parabolic due to the timing factors, I think can continue. And institutions are looking for any company that's profiting with AI or the current tech environment. Something like DoorDash, like has an amazing run. Now a little bit stuck under resistance here, but I'm just saying there are many names to focus on what's making new highs. And that's what I want to do, is rotate into strength. So for this week, looking at indexes, buying opportunity, especially what is already strong. And I'll take a look at some data edges next. Commodity rally likely continues. That said, we are still in the larger indexes are generally been sideways, like Dow, Russell, and NASDAQ itself. And that is because we're working off, well, a few reasons, but one of them is sentiment is one side of the boat, and there is some weakness that is dragging down indexes, both in Dow, NASDAQ, et cetera. And so I just want to focus most on what is going up, because there's plenty of names to choose from there. Now, looking at data edges, I'm going to start with cryptos. This is phenomenal bullish edge, very consistent. I'm selecting bull markets only, which means above 200 moving average for Bitcoin. And here showing April 2020 to current. So that's more than 3 times returns, just dividing the calendar in half, basically. This is about 2 weeks each. In 2020, even, let's see, a little, even better more recently, this is more than a 7x gain, measuring from November 2022 to current, the last major bear market low. And then more recently, also similar. And then this year, just a couple of incidences so far, only 3 months, but even better. So it's actually coming to an end on Monday. So that'll be less strength per this cycle. And then the other thing is that the individual components of the moon cycle, each lasting about 2.5 days, these 2 signs will be involved on Tuesday to the end of the week. So cryptos, per the data, do not look quite as strong as indexes. But again, Bitcoin's above all pivots, so I'm not going to argue with that. Just I think there could be more juice in the index move. Now turning to the ES version, there's a great edge in play that, again, very consistent. It's just another way of dividing up the moon cycle into 2.5-day components. This is more than double the returns when it's going to play. And it's been throughout each year, it's delivered, which is amazing. And this year, even stronger so far. Now, we may not get that much of a difference in average return given the year, but still, this seems to be a very reliable edge, and crypto is just a little bit less so last year, this year. So I think this is with the other factors impacting cryptos and this edge kind of tailing off for Bitcoin, looking for early weakness in the week to buy what is strong on indexes. The commodity rally continue, although those are already flying high, but also some of the tech stocks that are at highs or make little dips off highs, likely to power up on any rally Tuesday afternoon, Wednesday. So that's going to do it. Thank you very much for your interest. I'm working towards launching a more formal version of this work. A lot of it will be what you're getting now for free, but I'll share information in a way that's even more useful to you. In coming days, watch for a Google form asking for feedback, so this can become a mutually beneficial exercise. And that'll do it for now. Good luck. Buona fortuna. Thank you very much.